Good day, welcome to our question 1 series. So in this video and upcoming videos we'll be doing question 1 questions from previous papers, and kindly note from there we'll then move to number patterns and other chapters, so kindly stay tuned. So also note that I will also be explaining how certain questions are solved so you can know how to tackle them in an exam. Let's get started. 1.1.1 x squared plus 9x plus 14 equals to 0. We know that from this one we actually have to factorize this equation, right? Of which this is basically ax squared plus bx plus c being equals to 0, right? And here we now need factors of a and factors of b of c, which when multiplied together and then added together are gonna give us what? B, right? And note that those very same factors of c, when they are multiplied together, they must give you c and its sign, right? So let's factorize. Okay, so our factors, note that we're gonna have 1 and 1 for a, and then for c we're gonna have 1 and 14, and we're also gonna have 2 and 7, and then you can see that 2 and 7 is the correct one. Plus 2 plus 7, and then from that we therefore gonna have x plus 2 equals to 0, or x plus 7 is equals to 0, right? Therefore x equals to -2, or x is equals to -7. So let's move on to 1.1.2. 1.1.2, we are given 4x squared plus 9x minus 3 is equals to 0, right? Correct to 2 decimal places. So already from the question they are hinting you that actually in this type of question we don't have perfect roots or perfect factors. You see here, right? Here we had 2 and 7, which were perfect factors, right? But in this case we don't have them, or mainly perfect roots. Yeah, we don't have perfect roots. That is the right term. So here, guys, this is the same as ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0, where our a is equals to 4, our b is equals to 9, our c is equals to -3, right? And the equation that we have to use is the one that we know from grade 11, our quadratic formula, right? Here we have b squared minus 4ac, right, over 2a. So here we can therefore substitute. This is gonna give us -9 plus minus square root b squared. It's gonna be 9 squared minus 4, and then c -3 over 2, and then our a is 4, right? And then from this we then gonna have x being equal to -9 minus square root. Let me just simplify what's on the inside. 81. Okay, this one, -4 times 4 times -3 gives us 48, and then at the bottom we have 8, and then from this the other one is gonna be all our second root, right? Our second x is gonna be equal to -9 again, but then here we put a positive, and then 81 minus 48, right, over 2a is 8. Therefore our x becomes, let's substitute. Okay, our x becomes -2.54, or our x becomes 0.29, right? Okay, and then yeah, from that we are then done with 1.1.2. Let's move to 1.1.3. So 1.1.3, what we have is square root x squared minus 5, and then we have it being equal to 2 square root x, right? So in this kind of questions, guys, yeah, basically a square root, let me just show you with this one. A square root basically is square root is basically 1 over 2, right? So let's say now you put this, multiply it by 2, raise everything to the power of 2. The 2's will cancel out, right? Then you'll just be left with what? X squared minus 5, right? So we follow the same logic in these types of questions, right? Another example is if you have the square root of 9. Square root of 9 is basically the same as saying 9 raised to the power of half, right? Which is 3. So let's move forward and solve the question. So here basically we're gonna use the same logic. Okay, we're gonna raise this to the power of 2, and then over this side we raise it to the power of 2. So from that we therefore gonna, here we're gonna have x squared minus 5, just x squared minus 5, since the 2 and 2 will cancel, right? And then here we're gonna have 4x, right? Since 2 squared is 4, and then square root x times all the way to the power of 2 is x. So this is gonna give you x squared minus 4x transposing, and then minus 5 all equals to 0. And then following the very same rules that I've given you before on how we choose our factors and their signs, here we're gonna have x and x, and then we're gonna have minus, and the other one will be positive to maintain this sign here, right? So we're gonna have minus 5 and then plus 1, right? And then from that, x minus 5 will be equal to 0, or x plus 1 will be equal to 0. And then we're gonna have x being equal to 5, or x being equal to -1. So yes, we are done with 1.1.3. Watch my following video to see where I continue with 1.2 and 1.3. Thank you.